Thursday, December 18th.
We've had quite a few preemptive cancellations, I would say. That's airlines that start to make those cancellation decisions actually ahead of the weather events, who help kind of protect their network so that they can start rebooking people in a timely fashion. So we've had about 6 or 7 inbound cancellations and about 7 outbound cancellations today.
Winter snowstorm wreaks havoc on the province.
This is a challenging budget year.
And
Offers a motion to bring down the mill rate increase by 5%.
Fired from the bank. Before I started coming up here, I worked at a bank. I got fired. Guy asked me to check his balance, so I shoved him.
The Riders quarterbacks spread some holiday cheer. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Off to a strong start on Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for joining us on the snowy Thursday.
What a mess it was out there on the city streets yesterday. And there's a lot of closures and stuff this morning, so make sure you pay attention to the highway hotline and this lady right here.
Yes, yeah, we'll have more on that forecast coming up here, but looking like not super snowy of a day today.
Yeah, even our weather system's got some freeze up, so pay attention to those numbers. Let's get to our headlines. We do start with the weather. All those blizzard and freezing rain warnings have now been lifted in Saskatchewan, but Wednesday's Alberta Clipper did leave a mark. Between 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. yesterday, RCMP say they received 29 weather-related calls, including cars in the ditch, collisions, and traffic hazards. No word yet on the number of collisions inside the city of Regina proper. City yesterday canceled all trash, recycling, and food waste pickup. It'll now happen on Saturday.
It's going to get icy out. There's no doubt with the flash freezing. We do have our ice control people out. They'll be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I actually heard from one of our police officers in Swift Current that the roads are so slippery that it's hard to even stand on the roads, let alone drive.
Well, now there's a snow route in effect in Regina, so no parking along those streets marked with the blue sign with a white snowflake, or you will be ticketed or towed as crews get to work. Blizzard conditions have now moved out of Alberta, but the strong Alberta Clipper has left quite a mess there.
it's freezing.
Sliding around. I'm rear-wheel drive vehicle, so I'm having a little fun right now.
Yeah, the ice is like a sandstorm, but with crystals of snow.
The treacherous conditions caused a number of crashes and flight delays. At one point, up to 100 cars were involved or struck in a Highway 2 collision between Airdrie and Calgary. This morning, southern Saskatchewan is set to see more snow and wind, while that storm that hit yesterday is now moving into Manitoba.
To be going to Ixtapa, Mexico, but we got stuck on the tarmac in bad weather for 3 or 4 hours, and now we're sitting around waiting to see what WestJet does for us.
And expect delays if you are traveling or trying to fly out today. There are delays and cancellations at both YXE and YQR. Those are scrolling in our enhanced screen at the bottom left right now. Airport officials say you should check your airline, or your flight status before you leave your house, and be patient. Officials say even with on-time flights and runways open, de-icing will cause more delay. The U.S. is starting to lay out its trade demands before CUSMA comes up for review next year. That's the trade agreement between Canada, U.S. and Mexico. The U.S. point person on trade told Congress yesterday structural shortcomings need to be addressed before that agreement can be renewed. One demand is increased access to Canada's dairy market, which is protected right now by our supply management system. The U.S. wants also to change Ottawa's Online Streaming Act and address provincial bans on American alcohol. Trade is one of the issues President Donald Trump touched on last night during his prime time address to the nation.
We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world. But they're not laughing anymore.
During his address, President Trump announced an almost $1,800 holiday bonus for troops, partly paid by the tariffs. On the economy, President Trump claimed prices are falling while blaming Democrats for affordability issues. Economic data shows U.S. inflation is up while consumer confidence is down. All the Republicans fully in charge of the government right now at the Senate and Congress level. Despite the weather, City Council back at Henry Baker Hall in Regina for day 3 of budget deliberations. At the start, councillors were looking at a property hike of almost 16%, but Wednesday morning, Mayor Chad Buczynski proposed a plan to lower that rate. Donovan Mace with that.
An amendment from Mayor Chad Buczynski proposes to lower Regina's mill rate increase to 10.73%.
We've heard from delegates that made it very clear that we don't want to see a drastic increase in our taxes, and at the same time, we don't want to reduce services and cut the things that make our city livable and vibrant.
42 various cuts and deferrals are included in Buczynski's motion and could decrease city expenses by $12 million, including the removal of physical downtown parking meters and moving to a full cashless payment system, increasing transit fares by 10%, deferring transit fleet reserve investments to next year, canceling the addition of transit service for some late-night weekend and holiday routes, and reducing funding for economic development Regina, among others.
As we start to make deeper cuts, if that's what council is looking at, just gauge the impact versus the gauge of the impact of that dollar versus the gauge of the impact of that service.
At the previous 15.69% forecast, the average Regina household would have seen property taxes increase about $33 per month. At 10.73%, the increase would be about $23. CFO Darren Anderson says the city can provide adequate service levels at the newly suggested tax hike.
Council has set a strategic priority to remain in the lowest 25% of per capita taxes amongst our comparator cities. That requires us to stay below the city of Saskatchewan. We can do this for 2026 with a tax increase of 10%.
Now, Buczynski calling his motion just a starting point as it has yet to have been voted on. Budget debate is only just beginning, and the mill rate could fluctuate up or down at council's discretion to enhance services or cut even further. Deliberations are scheduled to last through Friday. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Saskatoon City Council is looking at what it would take to move the oldest municipal golf course in the city. Jeremy Dodge, what are they talking about here?
Well, Darryl, council yesterday voted to explore the costs, feasibility, and the work needed to move the Wildwood Golf Course if council decides to replace the course years into the future. Councillor Zach Jeffries raised the motion of developing the land, which had residents sending hundreds of phone calls and messages to council, but he reiterated he's just looking for answers.
Try to find unique ways to get win-wins, and that's what I'm asking for here today. And if we can't make those things happen, this discussion will stop.
The burden of proof hasn't been met that Wildwood Golf Course needs to be relocated, or that this is the right use of administration's time and resources right now.
Wildwood Golf Course opened in 1931. Council will get a report back from administration on long-term implications in the new year. One of Saskatoon's most iconic landmarks is marking a major milestone with a makeover that will see the downtown fixture close its doors for a few months next year. The Bessborough Hotel celebrating 90 years since it was built, and now it's preparing for its next chapter. The historic Castle on the River is beginning a comprehensive renovation and rebranding as it joins Marriott Bonvoy's autograph collection. Renovation work will begin in mid-January on the hotel's north wing, while the property remains open to guests until May of next year. Then a full-service pause is scheduled from mid-May through to September, with a grand reopening planned for late 2026. The remodel will pay homage to the Canadian National Rail routes.
Renovation with 225 rooms and public spaces that includes lobby and meeting rooms and a launching of a new three-meal restaurant called Grand Junction.
One of the big changes in the reno will include taking out the pool and moving the main restaurant to that area, incorporating the patio overlooking the Bez Gardens. Daryl, Regina's food bank keeping busy this holiday season.
Yeah, I think most are, Jeremy. Volunteers preparing meals to feed over 3,000 families in this city. Every day throughout the year, the food bank provides around 500 food hampers to people in the community. With Christmas being a little more expensive this time of year, the food bank says it offers an additional 2,500 hampers to help families who may need a little extra support, adding the season of giving could not be done without its volunteers.
Volunteers are the heart of the food bank. We couldn't run this without our volunteers, so we really appreciate everybody's gift of time to us, especially during this time that we have additional activity. But yes, it's very easy, and if anybody has any questions, they can always contact us.
Until December 24th, Nutrien will be matching all donations made to the food bank as part of its annual Hampers of Hope campaign. To hockey now, the Regina Pats climbed back into the win column last night with an upset win over the Prince Albert Raiders.
Through sticks, from a bad angle, finds Lansard. Left side, he shoots, scores!
Zach Lansard with a pair of goals for the Pats, who snapped the Raiders' 5-game win streak last night. Merrick Schlenker, he was the big story, picked up first star honors with a 34-save performance for the Pats in goal. 5-4 the final.
Comes off the wing, shoots and scores!
Shane Smith scored the game winner in a shootout for the Kelowna Rockets as they come from behind to pick up a win over the Saskatoon Blades last night. Blades gave up the tying goal with just 2 minutes to go, a heartbreaker.
He's the former Regina Pat, dance to the middle, shot, scores!
Pats fans real happy. Julian Mays, their former leading scorer, who was traded to the Hitmen, scoring his first in Calgary. The Hitmen scored 3 in the second, 4 more in the third, and a 9-2 drubbing of the Swift Current Broncos, who have now lost 12 in a row. Team's longest losing streak. Their record is 18 games, which was the 2018-19 season. Times are tough for the Speedy Creek kids. Let's go over to the Weather Center. You got a lot of mess on the map behind you there. It's almost like a color by numbers.
It really is. This is a great representation of the blizzard that we saw yesterday throughout the province. Now let's talk a little bit about that, because today we're seeing some relief. We're not expecting to see those flurries return anytime this morning or this afternoon. However, about southeastern Saskatchewan, we'll be seeing some more snow on the way beginning at about 1 to 3 a.m. Tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. But let's take a look behind me here at that radar and satellite, where you can see that system moving through the province. So this was all of that snow, the wind that we saw yesterday. This is what that was. So as you can see here, quite a large system that we won't be seeing today, thank goodness. Now over to our future cast here, you can see some systems here moving tomorrow. So again, today we are not going to be seeing flurries. However, tomorrow we will be seeing just a little bit more snow, as you can see here, moving through Saskatchewan. Now let's take a look over at some current temperatures. Stony Rapids at -42, so make sure you're bundling up. Very, very cold start here to our Thursday morning. Over to Buffalo Narrows, -30, South End -35. We've got Prince Albert at -27, Hudson Bay -25, the Battlefords -21, Wynyard -25, Kindersley -19, along with Weyburn and Estevan, and Yorkton -23. Now for our highs today across the province, seeing some sunshine peeking out, but again, it is going to be a little bit of a cloudier day for us. The Battleford sitting at about -21, Prince Albert -22, along with Yorkton, Moose Jaw -18, Swift Current -8, Weyburn -18, Estevan -19. Now for our 7-day forecast here in Regina today, seeing that -20 degree. Now tonight things are going to, you're going to see that temperature increase just a little bit. So -17 as that low for tonight. Now again, tomorrow we'll see those flurries return, not quite to the same extent that we saw yesterday, but again, do expect a little bit of snow. We'll be sitting at about -2 for Friday. As we roll into next week, we'll see those temperatures start to even out a little bit. -12 on Monday to kick off our week. Over to Saskatoon, -21. today, and over on Friday, minus 10. Again, seeing those flurries return just a little bit. Now next week, seeing that cloud cover in the sky and a little bit of cooler temperatures again. So Monday, minus 19, and on Tuesday, expect to see about minus 24. Well, Canada isn't the only country to have a Christmas train, you know. Bogota opened their Christmas train this week, which is one of the most popular family-friendly activities in the Colombian capital. Each night, the train runs its special route about 10 kilometers to the north of the city, where passengers get to enjoy a pyrotechnic.
Some fireworks.
Wow.
Hey.
How nice is that? So during this trip, families can interact with Santa and, of course, the crew of elves as well.
Well, that's super fun.
This is great.
The Christmas train actually will roll into Saskatchewan in just a couple of days. It's scrolling in your enhanced screen there. I know it's on the 20th in Regina. I don't know exactly when it comes to Saskatoon, but it's in the next couple of days. It's all on your screen. You'll see it scroll across your screen in the events category.
Oh, we love the Christmas train.
Do love the Christmas train. It's Lanco coming to town, at least in the south this year. Question of the day: what is your go-to last-minute Christmas gift? You're at the mall. You're hurrying through on December 23rd to find your favorite gift. What are you buying?
A shirt, probably.
It's like some sort of gift cards. Gift cards are easy, right?
Or gift cards.
Jeremy, do you have anything that you just like automatically like? Okay, I need something. I'm going to get this.
Movie theater gift cards.
That's a great gift.
Really good.
Usable. Very usable. Let me know what yours is. All you need to do is grab that smartphone. It's probably already in your hand and text 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Your name and your answer. We want both. Or you scan that QR code on your screen, and Janelle will share those throughout the show. Let's take a look at the streets of Regina, which may be a little slick this morning, so maybe take a little extra time.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We head across the Atlantic. It comes from the Premier League. Manchester City taking on Brentford. The corner kick comes out to Ryan Cherky. He settles the ball from his chest, cuts inside, then fires an absolute laser into the top corner. A fantastic strike from the French midfielder. Beautiful move to avoid the tackle, and from there it was all power. Cherky as your must-see moment from Wednesday. And tonight on TSN, Thursday Night Football, huge matchup in the NFC West between the Rams and Seahawks. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Health authorities worldwide have approved a drug treatment for stroke that was pioneered at the University of Calgary. Researchers conducted a clinical trial with 1,600 patients on tenecteplase, a drug that's already used for heart attacks. They found its effective clot-busting drug was good for strokes too. Administered with an IV, saves time in situations where every minute counts.
Game changer. That means that anybody with an acute stroke can actually get a life-saving treatment in just 5 seconds if they're eligible for that treatment.
Dr. Menon also says the drug is helpful for stroke patients seeking care at rural hospitals. They can get the medication before they're taken by ambulance to a larger hospital.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, let's take a look over at that school day forecast brought to you by CAA, School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, minus 23. By the time lunchtime comes around, minus 24. And 3 p.m. final bell, minus 22. Over to Saskatoon, minus 22 by the time you get onto the bus. By lunchtime, minus 23. And final bell around 3 p.m., minus 21. As we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $123.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $102.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $112.9, with the lowest you might find being $107.9. Taking a look over at farm markets, the street price of canola is $532.92 per ton, and the futures price is $608.50 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat is $241.53 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.56 cents US.
Tonight,
I was broken into pieces.
Canadians grappling with the very real loss of life savings from fake AI-generated videos.
You could invest in it for as little as $250.
What's making these scammers so convincing that victims are losing everything they own?
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Welcome to your morning. It is 6:30. Thank you for waking up with us. The NDP is raising concerns this morning over wait times and hospital bed shortages at hospitals in Saskatoon, Regina, and Prince Albert. The NDP obtained an internal report from the Saskatchewan Health Authority detailing safety levels at hospitals across the province in recent days. The report considers Prince Albert's Victoria Hospital, RUH, St. Paul's, and the Regina General at a very high safety risk for overcapacity. The report notes Saskatoon City Hospital was short 10 medical beds, while Victoria Hospital was short 12. The NDP also raising concerns about the high wait times, ranging from 4 hours at Victoria Hospital, 41 hours rather, to 91 hours at Regina General.
There are many things that go into a picture such as this. I mean, this is very bleak, but it's not an overnight fix, that's for sure.
The SHA says internal documents used by health system experts should be interpreted with caution when viewed outside their intended context. It also says the wait times refer to the total wait times from patient registration to discharge from the emergency department, not the time it takes to see a doctor. The SHA adds hospitals across the province regularly adjust to fluctuating patient volumes, and that a scoring system is used to assess risk levels and guide response to different thresholds. The Prince Albert Grand Council says it's asking for answers after video circulated online depicting an Indigenous man in a state of impairment laying outside the Victoria Hospital in winter weather. A statement from police regarding the incident says the man had been evicted from a property prior to police arrival. Grand Chief Brian Hardlot wants the Saskatchewan Health Authority to assess the actions of security staff during the incident and says the Grand Council has reached out to the SHA.
That shouldn't happen in this day and age, especially in the hospital setting. So concerning, we're going to ask for changes and I'm hoping that the Saskatchewan Health Authority works with us on this one.
SHA says it met with Grand Council, continues to collaborate with police, and is completing an internal review. Yorkton RCMP asking you for any information you may have on a fatal collision involving a pedestrian last month. It happened around 5:30 at night on November 15th at Mayhews Avenue in the city's northeast. The pedestrian, an 86-year-old man, was taken to hospital where he later died. Police say the driver did remain on scene. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. It was an emotional moment in Australia as Bondi Park reopened to the public this morning.
It's extremely painful and devastating, but we're not broken. We're stronger, we're better, we're more proud than before.
That was this morning as police took off the caution tape days after the shooting during a Hanukkah celebration that left 15 people dead. The park is usually a high for activity for people heading into Bondi Beach. This morning it has become a gathering place for mourners as police keep a watchful eye. More victims are also being laid to rest today. BC's Premier cracked a Christmas joke ahead of today's virtual First Minister's meeting.
Kids have all these ideas about really expensive and practical gifts that are just never going to happen. But they've been watching the news, and they think they have a loophole. They've suggested that they enter into an MOU with Santa to be able to achieve what they're hoping for. Follow up.
Eby has been critical of the MOU, saying it's unacceptable. His province was excluded from the talks. The Premier says he hasn't spoken with Alberta or Ottawa, but is working to get a new date set in the new year to sit down together. Now today, Prime Minister Mark Carney will host a virtual First Ministers meeting. On the agenda, international trade, the domestic economy, and Ottawa's Build Communities Strong Fund. Canada has now logged its largest population drop on record, and immigration policy appears to be why.
We needed to bring our immigration level to a more sustainable level. And at the same time, we've doubled down in Budget 2025 to attract the best and brightest in our country.
Between July 1st and October 1st of this year, Canada's population decreased by about 76,000 people, mainly due to a reduction in the number of non-permanent residents. It's the first recorded quarterly drop since the pandemic began and follows record rates of population growth between 2022 and 2023. It spiked under an immigration policy aimed at helping companies fill thousands of empty jobs following the pandemic. Now, more changes to immigration levels are coming, with the Liberals vowing to further reduce the number of temporary residents over the next 2 years. Authorities say they have now recovered more than 300 vehicles from an auto theft ring.
What started as a local investigation uncovered a network of international reach, shipping stolen vehicles overseas to markets where they sell for double their Canadian value.
Police say the stolen vehicles are worth more than $25 million. This was a joint operation between Ontario Provincial Police and Border Services Agency targeting organized crime. Investigators allege there were shipping companies involved in the ring which knowingly exported stolen vehicles around the world. 20 people were arrested. 134 charges laid. In Quebec, some schools have been giving out guidelines on how students should be playing in the snowbanks. Imagine that. A company that insures the schools releasing the info outlining how children can play in piles of snow on school grounds because obviously they can't figure it out for themselves. It says the snow mounds should be less than 3 meters high with a slope of no more than 25 degrees, and helmets should be mandatory. The guidelines have raised a few eyebrows with confusion over responsibility. Officials say it's typically the snow removal contractors who shape the slopes and not up to teachers to be measuring the size. School officials stress that these are just recommendations. Quebec's education minister suggests schools use their common sense. Imagine that. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have extended the contract of a Canadian running back.
Knocking on the door again for the Riders. Handing off. Bertrand has one touchdown. He has 2.
Thomas Bertrand Hudon had 166 rushing yards, 38 yards through the air, scoring 2 touchdowns last year, both in the season opener against Ottawa after A.J. Ouellette left the game with a concussion. The Quebec product has been a Rider since the team selected him in the 4th round of the 2003 draft. In an entertainment industry shakeup that's been undergoing some major changes, this is the big one. The Oscars are now moving to YouTube. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences says it signed a multi-year deal with YouTube starting in 2029. You used to watch them on ABC. The streaming platform will have exclusive global rights for Hollywood's biggest night. It will mark the end of decades of ceremony being broadcast in the States, of course, by ABC. The move signifies a significant shift in the media industry as online services like YouTube and Netflix gain power from traditional TV broadcast stations. Rome has opened 2 new subway stations, and one of them is deep below the famous Colosseum. Commuters and tourists entering the station can see displays of ceramic vases and plates, stone wells, and ruins of the cold plunge pool and thermal bath from a 1st century home. One stop away, another station features a nearly 80-meter-long military barracks from the start of the 2nd century. These incredible stations took about 20 years to build because of funding issues and also archaeological needs. We turn our attention to the weather picture, and there are a few power outages you need to know about. Those in the red map there. Those are in the southwest corner of the province. Sask Power says they will get to them as soon as it is safe to do so. So hopefully those people are staying warm. When is this warm-up supposed to come from Alberta? Because they sent us this cold. They got to be sending us some warmth.
That's right. Well, today we might not be seeing a ton of warmth, but we won't be seeing a ton of snow coming as of this morning and this afternoon. However, later on this evening, that southeastern side of Saskatchewan, we'll be seeing a little bit more snowfall. We'll get into that coming up here, but first, let's take a look over at that current temperature. Let's see. All right. Maybe we'll skip it. Oh, no. Okay. We're having some board issues here, but what I can tell you is that later on, as the afternoon goes on, about midnight, I would say tonight, is when we really will start to see some of that snowfall coming back. Some flurries are on the way. There we go, minus 23 right here in Regina. Again, seeing those wind chills moving as well. That will make the temperature feel even chillier. So now let's head over to the next. We've got our very own Kayleen Sawatsky right here helping me through this. Let's take a look over at that radar and satellite. Now, this is exactly where you will see that system moving through the province. Again, seeing those wind speeds picking up as well. Not much for snowfall coming up here, but now let's take a look at our futurecast where you'll see again that snow coming right on through. There we go. So again, southeastern Saskatchewan going to be seeing quite a bit of that snow later on between about 1 and 3 a.m. Weyburn, Estevan, all of those areas expect a little bit more snow. Now for current temperatures across the province, Stony Rapids minus 42, Buffalo Narrows minus 30, South End minus 35, Prince Albert minus 27, Spiritwood minus 20, Melfort minus 26, Wynyard minus 25, Kindersley minus 19, Swift Current minus 21, and Yorkton minus 23. All right, so let's take a look at these highs for today. Again, seeing some sun trying to peek out, but it is a cloudier day here today. So the Battleford seeing about minus 21, Prince Albert minus 22, along with Yorkton. Weyburn minus 18, Estevan minus 19. Again, expecting to see some flurries coming later on tonight and early on tomorrow morning. And Swift Current as well. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, today minus 20 is that high. So it is a cooler day. Definitely bundle up and be careful on those roads. Tomorrow, we will start to see a little bit of those flurries coming as well. Now for Saskatoon, minus 21 today and tomorrow minus 10. Expecting to see those flurries start later on in the morning.
Studio decorating provided by Sticks and Doodles, Regina's Christmas ornament warehouse.
Activist investor Elliott Investment Management has built a stake of more than $1 billion in Lululemon, according to a person familiar with the matter, as the struggling retailer faces a strategic overhaul amid its chief executive officer's exit. Elliott has been working for months with retail executive Jane Nielsen, a former chief financial officer and chief operating officer at Ralph Lauren, on Lululemon, said one person who asked to remain unnamed as the matter is private. In a narrow 5-4 vote, the Bank of England approved a benchmark cut of 25 basis points. It now stands at 3.75%, marking the fourth cut of the year there. With lackluster economic data and softening labor markets, along with a recent decline in inflation that outpaced expectations, the cut was expected. Economists now expect the central bank could cut next in early 2026 if macroeconomic data continues to allow for more room for maneuvers. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
The holidays can be filled with warmth in a lot of ways, right? Space heaters, fireplaces, candles, things like that. And with those come some risks. And that is why we have invited Saskatoon Deputy Fire Chief Yvonne Raymer in to help us alleviate some of that risk over the holidays. Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
So we mentioned some of them there, space heaters and that kind of thing. Any to add? What should we be aware of when it comes to fire safety?
So there's a little limit that's, give your heater some space. So give a heater a meter.
Okay.
If you're not sure what the specifications are, or if, say, it's a bit of a higher output, then you want to read manufacturer specs. So pull out the old manual, unless you're like me and you just...
Well, yeah.
I use extra caution because maybe I don't read the instructions like I should. But also, what's the power source for it? Are you plugging it directly into an outlet, or are you using an extension cord? And in Saskatchewan, we get down to -40, sometimes -50. Don't bring your exterior extension cord inside. It's heavily insulated. It get very warm. They're not actually designed to be indoors. They're meant to be outside where they can actually deliver the power in -40. So when you bring them into a +20 environment, they can get a little gummy. You can actually get an arc or a spark out of them. So look at what's appropriate, but the best, safest way is use a power bar or directly plug it into your outlet.
Okay, I'm learning things already. I had no idea about that outdoor thing. So this is great. This is helpful. Let's talk about trees. Just a big, quite flammable object all of a sudden in many homes at this time of year.
Yeah, so especially if you have a fresh tree. I know a lot of people have artificial trees now, but fresh trees need water. And if you're somebody who forgets about the watering, or you have a puppy that likes to drink the water, just check it periodically. I would say daily, to make sure that it's freshly watered, because when they're dry and then they get towards a heater or the fireplace, or maybe that electrical cord starts to get warm, we don't want to see your tree and the gifts go up in flames.
Yeah, carbon monoxide is another concern in the colder months, right?
Yeah, so especially just last week, we had 2 frigid days. Just remember to go do an exterior walk around your house, check your inlets and your outlets. If you see any snow building up, remove it from underneath them. If you have ice hanging from them, remove it. And then interior-wise, check all your natural gas appliances, your stove, your fireplace, your furnace, and check that the valves aren't leaking or anything like that. If anything is sort of being manipulated, or maybe it needs to be replaced, err on caution, replace it. And most importantly, your frontline protection, have a carbon monoxide alarm.
Of course, of course. Now, what about cooking? A lot of that going on at this time of year.
Yeah, so this is great. Never leave your cooking unattended. It's like the candle. We don't leave them unattended. So always stay in the kitchen if you're cooking. If you have a fire on the stove, if you feel competent and you have a fire extinguisher and the fire is small, you can always extinguish it yourself. When in doubt, call us out, call 911. And then you can also shut off the breaker. You can actually cut the power to it. And hopefully that smoke alarm's ringing, telling you you're burning your supper or your dinner.
Yeah.
But if the fire's in the oven, keep the door closed. Okay. Don't open it, because you're just introducing more oxygen. Shut the breaker off, call 911, and hopefully the fire should stay contained in the oven.
Okay, lots of great tips here. Is there somewhere we can go to kind of, remember some of these? Where can we check these out?
Yeah, absolutely. On the City of Saskatoon website, just type in holiday fire safety tips, and the checklist should come up.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for working over the holidays, as you and your team does. Yvonne Raymer, Deputy Fire Chief for the Saskatoon Fire Department. Thanks so much, and have a great holiday.
You too. Happy holidays.
Studio decorating provided by Urban Farm Girl Boutique and Home Decor.
It's December 18th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 30th birthday to Michaela. This is coming from your family, who hopes your day is fantastic. Happy 24th birthday to Savannah. Lots of love from Jalen, Zoe, Raker, and the rest of your family. And happy 90th birthday to Ken. Your family loves you and hopes your day is extra special. Happy 23rd birthday to Marissa. This is coming from your grandma Joyce, who hopes you enjoy your day. Happy anniversary to Patty and Gord, with love from all your friends and family. Happy birthday to Jake. This is coming from Bailey, who loves you very much.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Chase, Bailey, who's working up in our audio booth, it's her birthday today, and she's a big Chase fan. Can you wish her happy birthday?
Happy birthday. Sorry, I missed the Bailey, did we say?
That's right. Yeah. His name's so nice we say it twice around here.
The Bailey. Happy birthday. Have a great day out there.
What's going on the radio?
We're shaking the tree. We only have 2 more days left to shake this tree, so I want to make sure that we can get as many presents falling out as possible for you. Or, you know what, you're probably cheering against people too, so timber's over and you can win their presents at a later time. But 7:40 this morning, tomorrow is going to be the final day for it. And also, we got a Christmas song coming up here in about 2 minutes. It is Robin Ottolini, Hangover for Christmas. So if you enter that at purecountry927.ca, that can get you those standing platinum passes for Country Thunder.
Chase, thanks so much. See you next hour.
We'll see you then.
Move in Hollywood goes to the Oscars. YouTube just struck a stunning multi-year deal with the Motion Picture Academy to carry the ceremony. YouTube will take over the rights from ABC beginning in 2029. The Academy said the new partnership will allow them to expand the global reach of the Oscars.
I guess I'll come back next week and say goodbye.
I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
Buck Rogers star Gil Gerard has died of cancer at the age of 82. The actor was most famous for playing the sci-fi hero on TV from 1979 to 1981. Before he died, Gerard left a goodbye message for fans, which said in part, "Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't thrill you or bring you love. See you out somewhere in the cosmos."
Good morning, Krusty Crew, or should I say, are you ready, kids?
SpongeBob SquarePants has cemented his legacy. The beloved animated character put his hands and feet in the concrete forecourt of Hollywood's famed Chinese theater. The voice of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, was there as well to soak up the glory. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Well, the Saskatchewan Roughriders quarterbacks love a good dad joke.
Okay, Trevor. What did Santa say when he stepped in a puddle? It looks like it rained, dear. What do you call Santa when he's on a break? Santa Paws. How much did Santa pay for his sleigh? How much? Nothing. It was on the house.
You like that one a lot. You like that one a lot.
The house one's good. The house one's good. The first two, not so much.
They're sharing this on their social media page yesterday in hopes of lightening everybody's mood. And I got to say, they're great. I do note that Jake Mayer is holding a piece of paper, and Trevor's just pulling them out of the old brain there. If you notice.
Got it memorized.
Yeah, so we got a couple more sections of that coming up. In the meantime, JD, what do you got for us?
Well, we're going to go from jokes to dancing, and it looks like everybody is getting into the holiday spirit.
Let me tell you.
This is my whole Instagram feed.
We love it.
It's so good.
So
oh,
much.
yes.
We love the inflatables.
There's an elf now.
I bet you they were good yesterday in Regina and Saskatoon with that wind.
I bet. And if you're sitting at home and you got storm pictures, we do want to see those. You can send those to us, Your Morning Saskatchewan at CTV.ca. We'll let them dance us right on into break. Thursday, December 18th.
Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history.
U.S. President Donald Trump talks up his tariffs during a primetime address as the U.S. lays out conditions for the future of a trade agreement.
It happens really quickly, right? Especially when you've got that low visibility and poor road conditions, and one crash turns into easily dozens of crashes very, very quickly.
It was ugly in Saskatchewan, but those blizzard conditions left a real mess in Alberta, including about 100-car pileup.
Universities, colleges, builders, they're not prepared for these abrupt changes.
And Canada just recorded its largest ever population drop. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Pai. Thanks for being back with us.
Kayleen is here. She's on assignment, currently being the worst intern for our producer, Nathan. I think she's been everywhere but where she's supposed to be this morning. But she's helping you out because the weather system's been a real pain today.
We've had a little bit of trouble with it, but if there's one thing I can always count on, it's that Kayleen will come out of nowhere and save the day.
I think she just about broke her foot running down here to help you. Let's get to the news. We'll get to forecasting in just a minute. Those boards are starting to work for Janelle, so we'll get to her in just a second. 7:01. All blizzard and freezing rain warnings have now been lifted in Saskatchewan, but Wednesday's Alberta Clipper did leave a real mark. Between 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. yesterday, RCMP say they received 29 weather-related calls, including cars in the ditch, collisions, and traffic hazards. No word yet on the number of collisions inside the city of Regina proper. The city did cancel all of its trash, recycling, and food waste pickup yesterday. That'll now happen on Saturday.
It's going to get icy out. There's no doubt with the flash freezing. We do have our ice control people out. They'll be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I actually heard from one of our police officers in Swift Current that the roads are so slippery that it's hard to even stand on the roads, let alone drive.
So the intersections are going to suck today. Be careful. Take a little extra time if you can. A snow route is now in effect, so no parking along streets marked with that blue sign with the white snowflake, or you will be ticketed or towed.
Like today, it's freezing.
Sliding around. I'm rear-wheel drive vehicle, so I'm having a little fun right now.
Yeah, the ice is like a sandstorm, but with crystals of snow.
Treacherous conditions caused a number of crashes and flight delays. At one point in Alberta, there were up to 100 cars involved or stuck in a crash on Highway 2 between Airdrie and Calgary. Incredible. This morning, southern Saskatchewan's had to see more snow and wind, and that storm that hit us yesterday is now moving into Manitoba.
To be going to Xtapa, Mexico, but we got stuck on the tarmac in bad weather for 3 or 4 hours, and now we're sitting around waiting to see what WestJet does for us.
If you're trying to fly today, do expect some delays or cancellations. There are some at YXE and YQR, respectively. Those are scrolling in the enhanced screen on the bottom left. Airport officials say you should check in with your airline on your flight status before you go to the airport and be patient when you do get there. Officials say even with on-time departures and open runways, de-icing will cause more delays. The United States has given Canada signals on some major policy changes it needs to make ahead of the renegotiation of the current North American Free Trade Agreement, or CUSMA as it's known. In a statement to Congress, the Trump administration's top trade representative says Canada must address concerns over market access for U.S. dairy products and address Canada's export of its dairy products. Other areas of concern include provincial bans on U.S. alcohol products and Canada's online streaming and online news acts. Saskatoon City Council is looking at what it would take to move one of the oldest golf courses. Jeremy, move a golf course?
I know. It's a tall order, but they're taking a swing at potentially relocating one of the city's oldest courses. Keenan Sorkan has more on the concern from residents about this out-of-nowhere decision.
My email and phone number lit up like a Christmas tree.
City councillors received quite the shock when hundreds of phone calls and messages came pouring in about the potential relocation of 94-year-old Wildwood Golf Course. A motion from Councillor Zach Jeffries looking at developing the area and moving the course elsewhere narrowly passed 6-5 at Wednesday's council meeting.
There's no guarantee redevelopment here would deliver affordability or density at a scale that justifies the disruption and loss of an existing civic asset.
Jeffrey started the discussion by apologizing to council, saying a notice of motion posted on the city's website lacked clarification. He doesn't want to pitch the course into the rough. He says a new course would have to be as good or better, would open before the current course closed, and could keep things like cross-country skiing in the winter.
If we can't make things better, and we're not going to get win-wins, and we're not going to improve facilities, and the finances don't work, then we just stop.
Bob Lee, who has been hitting fairways at Wildwood the last 20 years, isn't concerned about losing the course.
I can't ever see it happening. There were some
councillors today that were sort of vehemently against even studying the report.
Administration wouldn't provide a cost estimate to build a new course elsewhere, but Lee feels the millions of dollars necessary will nix any potential impact. Any relocation is 10 to 15 years away if council decides to proceed, with an initial feasibility report on its way.
Making changes to that is going to change the entire character of what we're doing there. And I'm not sure that's a legacy we want to create.
This isn't the first time the city has floated relocation, with the idea being defeated in 2 separate votes in 1976 and 1980. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, that's Saskatoon City Council. Daryl, Regina City Council continuing budget deliberations this week.
Major proposed mill rate increase you've all heard about. Regina City Council spent the day discussing a motion from the mayor to knock 5% off that projected mill rate increase. If approved, the changes would take the projected increase from almost 16% to almost 11%, the result of a $12 million expense cut and deferral for 2026.
This is a challenging budget year. We've heard a lot about how we've kept budgets artificially low for years, and we've heard from delegates that made it very clear that we don't want to see a drastic increase in our taxes, and at the same time, we don't want to reduce services and cut the things that make our city livable and vibrant. And
0.73% tax hike is not final at this point as councillors work through additional adjustments, including either service enhancements or further cuts. Council continues to debate the budget with meetings scheduled through to Friday. Home-based integrated youth services initiative within the John Howard Society of Saskatchewan receiving a large philanthropic donation. Over the next 3 years, Homebase will receive over $1 million in funding thanks to the Bell Graham Boach Foundation partnership, the Morris Foundation, and the McConnell Foundation. Homebase provides young people aged 12 to 25 and their caregivers with services like mental health and addictions, peer support, physical health services, cultural and traditional supports as well. The government of Saskatchewan provides Homebase with $4.5 million in funding annually.
We want to make sure that we're servicing young people in all services that they want to be able to access. Like right now, we have some of our core principles, but ideally we want to be able to make sure that we're addressing all services and all activities that young people need to and want to be able to access within that age category that we have.
There are 4 Homebase hubs: Regina, Moose Jaw, Humboldt, and Sturgeon Lake First Nation. From a cowgirl to a pilot to an astronaut, Barbie has worn many outfits during her 65-year run. Now a local person has added their own touch, fitting the fashion icon with a traditional ribbon skirt. Mick Faithful reports.
Tyla Gerald just got a version of Barbie not found in any stores. It's fitted with a ribbon skirt, a traditional Indigenous garment similar to the one Gerald is wearing. The new addition is unlike anything in her collection.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Excited.
It was nice to have it, right? Crystal Pelche remembers her days as a child and her times with Barbie. She recalls not having any dolls which directly reflected who she was as an Indigenous person. She is happy her daughter gets to have a different experience, with Indigenous culture now being better represented.
It's nice. It's like, I wish it was done a long time ago, but, it's nice that they can see this stuff, learn this stuff, know this stuff, be able to wear the items to school, to daycare, to wherever.
Earlier this month, the North Central Family Center received 10 of the indigenized Barbie dolls. Although the person prefers to remain anonymous, they did share the reasoning behind the creations. The maker creates the dolls in honor of their niece, who died at the age of 5, as well as for Isabella Kulak, who was shamed for wearing a ribbon skirt in 2020. The unique dolls are in high demand at the center.
It's something that you normally don't see, and to have a little, something that you can as well look like in a nice ribbon dress. Unfortunately, we don't have so many of them, but I hope there's more to come in the future.
Right now, doll accessories like these cannot be found in stores, but there is a growing demand which some of the major brand names may want to take a note of.
More of this stuff for the, Barbies, dolls, I think is important. It'd be nice more of that kind of stuff for the dolls.
Proving that Barbie can really be anything. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Regina Pats climbed back into the win column with an upset win over the Prince Albert Raiders last night.
Get through sticks. From a bad angle, finds Lansard. Left side, he shoots! Scores!
Zachary Lansard with a pair of goals for the Pats, who snapped the Raiders' 5-game win streak last night. Merrick Schlenker was the real conversation in this one, picking up first star honors with a 34-save performance in net for the Pats. 5-4, Pats win.
Comes off the wing, shoots and scores!
Shane Smith scored the game winner in a shootout for the Kelowna Rockets as they come from behind to beat the Saskatoon Blades last night.
Julian Mays, the former Regina Pat, danced to the middle, shot, scores! Amazing!
Pats fans will hate to see that. Their former leading goal scorer getting his first as a Calgary Hitman. They scored 3 in the second, 4 more in the third, in a 9-2 drubbing of the Swift Current Broncos, who now have their losing skid hit 12 straight. The team's longest, if you were wondering, was 18 back in the 2018-19 season, coming close to that. Let's get over to the Weather Center. There were power outages in parts of the province yesterday because of that storm, and they continue into this morning. Any chance this is going to lift and get a little bit better? Because I've got weekend travel plans.
Well, you'll definitely want to be careful on those roads, especially if you do have those Christmas, holiday, weekend travel plans, because things are still going to be quite cool and icy out there. Now, let's take a look at that current temperature here in Regina. Currently minus 24, so off to a very chilly start here on this Thursday. Seeing those wind speeds picking up as well. These are about 19 kilometers per hour right here in the Queen City. And again, once that sun does rise, we will have a cloudier day today. Now, over in Saskatoon, you can't see a lot because, of course, we did have that snowstorm. So that is on the camera right now, but seeing about minus 21 over in Saskatoon. And again, seeing those wind speeds as well, which will impact the temperature at about 11 kilometers per hour. Now let's take a look over at our future cast here, where you can see that system rolling through. Now this is later on today and early tomorrow morning. So by about 7:30 tomorrow morning, we're expecting to see more snow. So as for today, nothing. But tomorrow, do expect more snow. Make sure you add that into your morning plans wherever you're off to. Be careful on those roads. And those are going to last throughout the morning as well. By mid-afternoon tomorrow, we should see those flurries come to a halt. Now for our wind forecast, because it will be breezy out there once again. As you can see here, those wind speeds are fairly high, and that will impact temperature as well. That will cool things down. So bundle up wherever you're off to. Make sure you're dressing warm. For current temperatures here, Stony Rapids sitting at minus 41. Very, very cold. Buffalo Narrows minus 27. South End minus 36. Spiritwood minus 21. We've got Hudson Bay at minus 27. The Battlefords and Saskatoon again at that minus 21 point. Swift Current minus 20 in Yorkton, minus 24. Now let's take a look over at those highs for today. The Battlefords seeing about minus 21, Prince Albert minus 22, Yorkton minus 23. We've got Estevan at minus 19 and Moose Jaw minus 18. Now our 5-day forecast right here in Regina. Today we'll be seeing about minus 20 as that high. Again, seeing a little bit of sunshine, but it will be a chillier day with quite a bit of cloud cover. Tomorrow, again, is when we still see that flurry coming through. Minus 2, so not as cold as today, but that will make things really damp on the roads. So for Saskatoon today, minus 21. Tomorrow, minus 10, seeing those flurries again. Seeing cooler temperatures through the weekend as well. Minus 22 on Saturday and minus 25 on Sunday. Time for a rural forecast for today. Meadow Lake seeing about minus 19 along with Lloydminster. Kindersley minus 14. Wynyard minus 23 along with Hudson Bay. Melfort minus 22. Leader minus 7. Maple Creek minus 2. We've got Rockglen at minus 12. Carlisle minus 20. Now let's take a look over at Hafford, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Today will be about minus 22, mainly sunny, still seeing some cloud cover in the sky. And those winds are getting a little bit strong. They're about southeast at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour today.
are you? I'm no one.
10 years ago this week, Star Wars: The Force Awakens hit theaters, breaking all kinds of box office records.
I will finish what you started.
Fans had waited more than 30 years for this sequel to the original Star Wars trilogy, and advance sales crashed online ticket sites.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
The Force Awakens went on to make more than $2 billion in the worldwide box office, and it still sits at number 6 on the top 10 list of highest grossing movies of all time.
The dark side. A Jedi. They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you.
Dick Van Dyke recently marked a major milestone.
The funniest thing is, it's not enough. 100 years is not enough. You want to live more, which I plan to.
The legendary star Dick Van Dyke turning 100 years old last week, which comes with many achievements, but he's also now too old for something. Many people online drawing attention to the fact that Van Dyke can no longer play with Lego. This is according to the age requirement on the box, which states from 4 to 99. There's even a playful petition that started online titled, "Allow Dick Van Dyke to continue to play with Lego."
That's good.
Always read the box, right? The fine print.
That's right.
Over to the question of the day is where we go to next. Maybe Lego is your last-minute Christmas idea. There are some people out there that still have some shopping to do, so we've asked you what your go-to is. And these are the answers we've got so far, Janelle.
That's right. Well, this one apparently came in from me, but Daryl is looking at me like he might have sent it. And it does say, I like to buy socks, which, to be fair, you can't go wrong with.
It's good stocking stuff.
Socks are great.
Yes.
A unique deck of cards is fun, according to Nathan. That's our answer number 2. And we have one more.
Not a bad idea.
We've also got here coming in from Kim, last minute gift. I do baking, homemade, of course, which is another great answer. Shout
out to Kim in Moose Jaw. Highways out there are ugly, so you can stay home, do some baking, and deliver it to us tomorrow. And Kayleen loves a good Costco gift card. Says they're like free money. If you've got an answer at home you want to share with us for your last minute go-to idea, you scan that QR code or you text the text line at 10400. Standard message rates may apply.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We head across the Atlantic. It comes from the Premier League. Manchester City taking on Brentford. The corner kick comes out to Ryan Cherki. He settles the ball from his chest, cuts inside, then fires an absolute laser into the top corner. A fantastic strike from the French midfielder. Beautiful move to avoid the tackle, and from there it was all power. Cherki as your must-see moment from Wednesday. And tonight on TSN, Thursday Night Football, huge matchup in the NFC West between the Rams and Seahawks. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Time for our morning mystery. You can play along at home. 3 clues. Guess the answer. We've got our whiteboards. That's where we write them. The fear of this is called kinophobia. That help you, Janelle?
No, not even in the slightest.
It is comprised of 90 to 95% trapped air, making it great insulation.
Very nice.
It is translucent, not white.
Oh.
Light reflected off of it creates the white appearance.
Oh.
You say, oh, but you're not writing yet.
At least it's not super
What's happening
long
over
this
there?
time.
Well, yeah, right? The last few have been novels. Oh, look at you. You did get it, I think.
Oh.
I hope we're right.
Otherwise,
I chirped her and it's not great.
Yeah,
to say snow.
Gotta be it, right?
The answer is snow.
Yay!
Hey! Suffer from kinophobia because we got lots of it coming our way.
studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look at our school day forecast brought to you by CAA. School Safety Patrol working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, minus 24. By the time lunchtime rolls around, minus 24 as well. Final bell, minus 22. Over to Saskatoon, by the time you get onto the bus, minus 21. By the time lunchtime rolls around noon, minus 23. And final bell, minus 21. As we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $123.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $102.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $112.9, with the lowest you might find being $107.9. Taking a look over at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $532.92 per ton, and the futures price is $608.50 per ton. Over to Amber Durham wheat, being $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat is $241.53 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.56 cents US.
.30 just about here on your Thursday morning. The NDP raising concern over wait times and hospital bed shortages at hospitals in Regina, Saskatoon and Prince Albert this morning. The NDP obtaining an internal report from the Saskatchewan Health Authority detailing levels of safety at hospitals across the province in recent days. That report considers Prince Albert's Victoria Hospital, RUH, St. Paul's and Regina General at very high safety risk for overcapacity. The report notes Saskatoon City Hospital was short 10 medical beds, with Victoria Hospital was short 12. The NDP also raising concerns about high wait times that ranged from 41 hours at Victoria Hospital to 91 at Regina General.
There are many things that go into a picture such as this. I mean, this is very bleak, but it's not an overnight fix, that's for sure.
The SHA has internal documents they say were used by the health system. Experts should not be interpreting those with anything less than caution when viewed outside the intended context. Also says the wait times refer to the total time from patient registration to discharge from the emergency room, not the time that it takes to actually see a doctor. The SHA adds hospitals across the province regularly adjust fluctuating patient volumes. Last week, an online video of a man outside in a vulnerable state caught the attention of Prince Albert community members, sparking concern from organizations like the Grand Council, which is now calling for a review of that incident. Jasmine Pelletier with Why.
The Prince Albert Grand Council is calling for answers after a video circulated online of a man in a vulnerable state lying outside in the snow.
People putting this stuff in social media and then to our attention so we can advocate for our vulnerable people and our homeless people and our people that's seeking medical attention and services in the hospital.
The video was posted on Facebook and shows security officers tending to an individual in the snow. CTV reached out to the Facebook account that posted the video to confirm who shot the footage but did not hear back. Police did, however, validate the video. Prince Albert police say shortly before 11 o'clock on December 11th, officers were called to the 2300 block of 10th Avenue West and found an intoxicated man lying in the snow. The police service says it ensured he received medical evaluation. Police say he had been evicted from a property before police got there. Grand Chief Brian Hardlot says the man had been kicked out of Victoria Hospital by security. He wants the Saskatchewan Health Authority to assess the actions of security staff during the incident.
That shouldn't happen in this day and age, especially in the hospital setting. So concerning, so things, we're going to ask for changes and I'm hoping that the Saskatchewan Health Authority works with us on this one.
The SHA says it has met with the Grand Council, continues to collaborate with police, and is completing an internal review. Jasmine Pelletier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Internationally, the youngest victim of the Bondi Beach attack was remembered this morning at a candlelight vigil. Hundreds Crowds of mourners gathered at the ceremony at Bondi Pavilion. They sang the Australian song Waltzing Matilda and lit the menorah decorated with a cardboard bee. 10-year-old Matilda was one of the 15 people killed in Sunday's attack. In the wake of the tragedy, the Australian government has been criticized for not doing enough to address anti-Semitism. Its Prime Minister today announced reforms to crack down on hate speech. The children of Rob and Michelle Reiner are speaking out for the first time after their parents' death and the arrest of their brother. Jake and Romy Reiner said in a statement that they are experiencing unimaginable pain. They went on to say the horrific and devastating loss of their parents is something that no one should ever experience. They weren't just our parents, they say, they were our best friends. They did not directly address the allegations against their brother. Nick Reiner has been charged with murder and appeared in court for the first time on Wednesday, waiving his right to enter a plea. European leaders are in Brussels to hold a vote on whether to use hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Russian assets to support Ukraine.
We see strong push for peace, but it's one-sided. We haven't seen any willingness from the Russian side to move or seriously talk about peace. Even the ceasefire for the Christmas was rejected.
Those Russian assets are worth about $339 billion Canadian. Russia has warned the EU not to use the money, but without a boost in funds, Ukraine's finances are expected to run out in a matter of months now. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump says a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine is closer than ever to ending the war, which began with Russia's full-scale invasion of February of 2022. U.S. President Donald Trump, meantime, has added partisan and subjective plaques to a refashioned West Wing walkway he calls important, the Presidential Walk of Fame. The move deepens Trump's fingerprints on the White House's aesthetic and continues the Republican president's efforts to bend the telling of the U.S. history to his liking. The additions include references to sleepy Joe Biden and a painting Republican icon Ronald Reagan as a fan of young Trump. Another calls Barack Obama one of the most divisive presidents in history. An introductory plaque tells passersby the Presidential Walk of Fame was conceived, built, and dedicated by Trump as a tribute to past presidents, good, bad, and somewhere in the middle. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has announced a massive package of arms sales to Taiwan valued at more than $10 billion. That package includes medium-range missiles, drones, and howitzers. If approved, it would be the largest ever U.S. weapon package to Taiwan. The U.S. State Department said the sales serve to support the security, national, and economic interest of the country by supporting Taiwan's continued effort to modernize its armed forces and maintain a credible defensive capability. Saskatoon's most recognizable landmark is preparing for a major transformation just as it marks an historic milestone. It's been 90 years since the Bessborough Hotel opened its doors, and now the iconic castle on the river is entering a bold new chapter. Carla Shinkaruk reports.
You can see these hand carvings. This doesn't exist anymore.
It's history like this 90-year-old hand-carved couch that makes renovating a hotel like the Bessborough so important.
Yes, it is important, a pillar to the community.
Built in 1935, the Bessborough has stood as a symbol of history for nearly a century, and parts of the hotel reflect that.
Unique in Canada for this building is that we heat up this building in the winter with steam boilers.
Those boilers will be replaced along with all the guest rooms.
Renovation with 225 rooms and public spaces that includes the lobby and meeting rooms and launching of a 3-meal restaurant called Grand Junction.
The renovation and rebranding to a Marriott Bonvoy's autograph collection will include various elements which pay homage to the Canadian National Railway as the original owners of the hotel. So one of the iconic elements that will remain after the renovation is having the Canada Post mailbox. The mail is still picked up every day. One of the biggest changes will be moving the main restaurant to the ground floor. That means the pool will be taken out to make way for dining that overlooks the patio and Bez Gardens.
So our goal going into this renovation is to actually preserve some of the unique elements about the Bessborough.
For this manager who's been with the company nationwide for over 20 years, the Bez holds special significance, playing host to an impressive number of famous people, VIPs, and heads of government.
In my past 4 years here, I've seen more dignitaries in my life than in this past 22 years with the company.
Renovation work will begin in mid-January and remain open to guests until May of next year. Then it will be closed until September 2026. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Beautiful right along the river with all that frost and the snow, and there's more snow on the way, is that correct?
That's right. Later on tonight and early tomorrow morning, we will be seeing more snow on the way, but for this morning and into the afternoon, we are in the clear, but those temperatures are still quite cold. So currently here in Regina, minus 24. Those wind speeds are picking up about 19 kilometers per hour right here in the Queen City. And again, it is going to be a cloudier day today, which of course also impacts that temperature. Over to Saskatoon, minus 21, seeing wind speeds not quite as strong at about 11 kilometers per hour to start off the morning. Now for our futurecast, here is right where you can see that system of snow that we had yesterday, and that's rolling back in again later on this evening and early tomorrow morning, as you can see here. So again, seeing some more snow. Keep that in mind because it is earlier in the morning. When you're on your way to work, be cautious because those roads will likely still be a little bit slippery. Current temperatures throughout the province, Buffalo Narrows and La Ronge both sitting at about minus 27. Stony Rapids still at that very chilly minus 41. We've got South End at minus 36, Spiritwood minus 21, Melfort minus 27. The Battlefords minus 21, Kindersley minus 20, East End at about minus 17, Estevan minus 19, Yorkton minus 24. Now let's take a look at those highs for today. Again, seeing those temperature fluctuations throughout the province. We're seeing not bad, and then we're seeing really chilly. So the Battleford's at about minus 21. Again, still experiencing some of that snow coming as well. Prince Albert minus 22, Yorkton minus 23, Estevan minus 19, Weyburn minus 20, and Moose Jaw minus 18. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina. Today, minus 20 as our high, seeing those clouds in the sky, and there will be more tomorrow because, of course, we're getting more snow. So minus 2 as tomorrow's high. Much better temperatures compared to today. As we roll into the weekend, however, we will start to see those temperatures drop once again. On Saturday, minus 21, and on Sunday, minus 16. Now let's take a look over at Saskatoon. Minus 21 is that high for today. Seeing those flurries come back tomorrow, minus 10. Now on Saturday and Sunday, still seeing those temperatures drop. Not quite as much though. Minus 22 on that Saturday. Now Sunday in Saskatoon will be the chilly day. Once again, minus 25. However, we are kicking off next week with minus 19, which compared to some of the temperatures that we're currently seeing, not so bad.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
People are truly allergic to pine trees, but your Christmas tree could be triggering your symptoms. According to the Cleveland Clinic, real trees sometimes carry mold, pollen, and even tiny critters. So unless you shake out or hose down your tree, you're likely inviting allergens into your living room. Artificial trees can also cause problems. They can accumulate dust in storage. Wipe them down before setting them up, and don't forget to give ornaments and other decorations a good cleaning too. After the holidays, store decor in airtight containers. If you've opted for a real tree, don't keep it too long. Mold spores increase over time. Finally, watch out for fireplaces and scented candles, which can also aggravate allergies. And see an allergist if symptoms linger past the festive season. With this Medical Minute, I'm Michelle Franzen.
The Scouts of Regina run an annual Real Christmas Tree Removal Program. Luke and Jamie Robbins are with the 2nd Regina Lakeview Scout Group. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. Let's start off with a little reminder about what Scouts is all about.
Yeah, so Scouts is a national program, and we're really focused on serving youth ages 5 to 25, so a very wide range of ages, and really getting them and building outdoor skills and confidence and teamwork and leadership.
And tell me a little bit about how long the Christmas tree pickup has been happening for.
Yeah, so here in Regina, the Christmas tree pickup started back in 2016, so this is about year 10 or so. And every year we pick up about 750 trees. And yeah.
Amazing. What a great initiative, too. How can somebody sign up to be a part of this?
Yeah, so it's really easy. So you can go to reginascouttree.ca, and there's a Google form you fill in, and all we really ask for is a $12 donation, and those funds all go to helping get youth outside.
Amazing. How have you seen the community respond to this?
It's been really positive in the last several years, and people seem to really appreciate the service.
Amazing. All right, Luke, we have a special question for you now. What is your favorite thing about Scouts?
My favorite thing is when I get to go and hang out with my friends once a week and go camping.
Oh, this sounds like a ton of fun. Where has been your favorite camping spot?
My favorite camping spot is, wait, Dad, where was the location?
Oh, we often go out to Rowan's Ravine, bud.
Oh, nice.
Rowan's Ravine.
Rowan's Ravine, that's a good spot. Fantastic answers. Thank you so much both for being here this morning. You did great. It was fantastic to chat with you both.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Christmas bake sale is on Saturday, December 20th at 12 p.m. in Regina. The Lieutenant Governor's New Year's Day levy is on January 1st at 1 p.m. It's being held on the 4600 block of Dooney Avenue, and for more information, you can go to itgov.sk.ca. If you'd like your event shown here, you can send us an email at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca with at least 2 weeks' notice.
Tonight,
I was broken into pieces.
Canadians grappling with the very real loss of life savings from fake AI-generated videos.
You could invest in it for as little as $250.
What's making these scammers so convincing that victims are losing everything they own?
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
I'd have it, but I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back.
Activist investor Elliott Investment Management has built a stake of more than $1 billion in Lululemon, according to a person familiar with the matter, as the struggling retailer faces a strategic overhaul amid its chief executive officer's exit. Elliott has been working for months with retail executive Jane Nielsen, a former chief financial officer and chief operating officer at Ralph Lauren, on Lululemon, said one person who asked to remain unnamed as the matter is private. In a narrow 5-4 vote, the Bank of England approved a benchmark cut of 25 basis points. It now stands at 3.75%, marking the fourth cut of the year there. With lackluster economic data and softening labor markets, along with a recent decline in inflation that outpaced expectations, the cut was expected. Economists now expect the central bank could cut next in early 2026 if macroeconomic data continues to allow for more room for maneuvers. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's December 18th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 30th birthday to Michaela. This is coming from your family who hopes your day is fantastic. Happy 24th birthday to Savannah. Lots of love from Jalen, Zoe Riker, and the rest of your family. And happy 90th birthday to Ken. Your family loves you and hopes your day is extra special. Happy 23rd birthday to Marissa. This is coming in from your Grandma Joyce, who hopes you enjoy your day. And happy anniversary to Patty and Gord, with love from your friends and your family. Happy birthday, Jake. This is coming in from Bailey, who loves you very much.
You in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Please send them at least one day in advance.
Chase, I gotta tell you, Janelle's such a pro. I've been handing her stuff as she's been reading the birthday. She's currently holding all of our Christmas set decorations in her hands.
Oh my gosh.
It's quite aggressive.
You're the worst, Daryl. That is so mean.
Yeah, bottom 5 for sure. Bottom 5 for sure. What's going on on the radio?
Can she juggle them too? Because otherwise we should just cut over to her right now.
I think we have to give them back, so we should probably not try that. What's going on the radio?
Maybe tomorrow we'll try the juggling. One thing happening tomorrow too, we have Bundle of Joy. We've teamed up with you guys as well as our friends over at Suds Full Service Car Wash, but something happening special tomorrow. We're getting all those donations for Carmichael Outreach, and tomorrow Kirby has decided that if you swing by Suds Full Service Car Wash in Regina tomorrow with any donation of diapers or wipes, he's going to give you a free Diamond Shield car wash to use whenever you would like. So you can help grow that pile for Bundle of Joy as well. If you're getting a gift card from a Suds, remember 10% of that kicked back towards Carmichael. And then on a normal day, if you grab that Diamond Shield car wash for $50, $20 also donated for Carmichael. But see if you can drop by tomorrow, get yourself that free car wash and help with those donations. Details at PureCountry927.ca.
Tried to hand her the gingerbread man, but she wouldn't take that one. I guess her hands were full. Bye, Chase.
You have way better decorations than us. Where did you even get those?
Urban Farm Girl. You want one? We'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me over a gingerbread man.
It's a gingerbread man talking to a ginger man. There we go.
Ah, there we are.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
The Oscars are making a jump to YouTube. The new partnership between the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and YouTube means the award show will stream exclusively on YouTube platforms starting in 2029 with the 101st Oscar ceremony. And the board at Warner Brothers unanimously recommends its shareholders reject Paramount Skydance's bid for the company. They're in favor of the earlier takeover bid from Netflix. The Muppet Show is returning for a special event. Kermit, Miss Piggy, and the rest of the gang are set to take the stage at the original Muppet Theater on February 4th. They'll be joined by pop star Sabrina Carpenter. Look for it on ABC and Disney+. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And he's sped into the box office this year as a race car driver in the movie F1. Academy Award winner Brad Pitt is celebrating a birthday today. He turns 62. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Olivia Rubin, ABC News.
All right, time for Sidebar, and Saskatchewan Roughriders quarterbacks Jake Mayer and Trevor Harris exchanging bad or good dad jokes, part 2.
You know, I went to a concert the other day. It only cost 45 cents. It was 50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
What do you call Rudolph after he scores a touchdown? Rudolph the red-zoned reindeer.
What do you call fish if he's wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
Yuck.
The Riders posted this on their social media yesterday. It's got a ton of views, as you'd expect. I'm still noting that Jake Mayer has a list. Trevor's pulling these out of his head.
Yeah.
Tell which one of these has kids.
Maybe he's reading a prompter or cue cards or something.
Oh,
we don't know.
When he came in here to do weather, all he kept telling Kayleen was, "Do you need jokes? I got jokes. Do you need jokes?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those poor kids.
I don't know. TJ's going to be our future weathercaster. That guy's awesome. Janelle, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, now on to some ooey gooey goodness, just in time for the holidays. All right, so this is the world's first chocolate raclette, copying the original cheesy Swiss dish. Woo. This sweet treat can be found in Singapore.
Oh.
Yum.
Boy. Calories don't count at Christmas. We're back after this.
Nope.
It's Thursday, December 18th.
Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history.
U.S. President Donald Trump talks up his tariffs during a primetime address.
This is a challenging budget year.
And Regina's mayor offers a motion to bring down the mill rate increase by 5%.
Fired from the bank. Before I started coming up here, I worked at a bank. I got fired. The guy asked me to check his balance, so I shoved him.
Riders quarterback spreading some holiday cheer online. I love the jokes. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. I gotta say, of all the jokes we've shared this morning, that one is my favorite.
That was good. They've got some good ones.
Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I am Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for being back with us.
A little bit better conditions out there. The roads are starting to open. Travel not recommended on a few of those streets. We'll get to that in just a minute. But a warm up slowly on the way, I guess.
Slowly but surely. We aren't going to be seeing snow this morning or this afternoon, so that's good.
Everybody wants a white Christmas, right? So we're partway there. Let's get to your news headlines. We'll get back to weather in just a minute. Highway 1 has reopened this morning following yesterday's snowstorm. Here's a look at the highway hotline at this hour. While the Trans-Canada is no longer closed, travel is not recommended between Grenfell area and the Manitoba border. Travel also not recommended in the Estevan area due to ice. Snow-covered conditions being reported from Regina to Caronport. That is all the blue that is on that map. Yellow is winter driving conditions exist, and pink, of course, snow-covered.
Changed on a dime. It has changed throughout the day, which has been some very challenging conditions.
The roads are so slippery that it's hard to even stand on the roads, let alone drive.
Saskatchewan RCMP say they responded to 82 collisions of varying nature and 25 different weather and traffic-related reports. Police say those numbers do not reflect possible vehicles stuck or abandoned, and that's just between 4 p.m. yesterday and 7 a.m. this morning.
It's freezing. Sliding around. I'm rear-wheel drive vehicle, so I'm having a little fun right now.
Yeah, the ice is like a sandstorm, but with crystals of snow.
Treacherous conditions in Alberta caused a number of crashes and flight delays as well. At one point, up to 100 cars were involved in a collision on Highway 2 between Airdrie and Calgary. Southern Saskatchewan set to see more snow and wind this morning. That storm moving its way into Manitoba.
Going to Ixtapa, Mexico, but we got stuck on the tarmac in bad weather for 3 or 4 hours, and now we're sitting around waiting to see what WestJet does for us.
Delays if you're traveling or flying out today. There are delays and cancellations at both YXE and YQR, so officials say make sure you check your airline for the flight status before you leave the house. And be patient once you do get there. They say even with on-time flights and open runways, de-icing will cause more delays. The United States has given Canada signals of some major policy changes it needs to make ahead of the renegotiation of the current North America Free Trade Agreement. In a statement to Congress, the Trump administration's top trade representative says Canada must address concerns over market access for U.S. dairy products and address Canada's exports of its dairy products. Other areas of concern include provincial bans on U.S. alcohol products and Canada's online streaming and online news acts. Saskatoon City Council looking at what it would take to move the oldest municipal golf course in the city. Move a golf course, Jeremy?
Yeah, Daryl. Council did vote to explore costs, feasibility, and the work needed to move the Wildwood Golf Course if Council decides to replace the course years into the future. Councillor Zach Jeffries raised a motion of developing the land, which had residents sending hundreds of phone calls and messages to Council, but he reiterated he's just looking for answers.
Try to find unique ways to get win-wins, and that's what I'm asking for here today. And if we can't make those things happen, this discussion will stop.
The burden of proof hasn't been met that Wildwood Golf Course needs to be relocated, or that this is the right use of administration's time and resources right now.
Wildwood Golf Course opened in 1931. Council will get a report back from administration on long-term implications in the new year. Saskatoon police are asking for help in finding a 77-year-old man who was last seen on Tuesday leaving a local hospital. Here's the images they have released of Michael Graham. Graham was wearing a red jacket and yellow hospital pajamas when he was leaving City Hospital about 2:45 Tuesday afternoon. He was walking toward Queen Street at the time. Police say he has difficulty walking and was in a vulnerable state. Anyone who has seen Michael Graham or knows where he is should contact police immediately. Well, despite the snowstorm, Regina City Council back deliberating on Wednesday, Daryl.
We're bringing forward a motion to try to bring down that mill rate increase. Here's Donovan Mace.
An amendment from Mayor Chad Bashinsky proposes to lower Regina's mill rate increase to 10.73%.
We've heard from delegates that made it very clear that we don't want to see a drastic increase in our taxes, and at the same time, we don't want to reduce services and cut the things that make our city livable and vibrant.
42 various cuts and deferrals are included in Bashinsky's motion and could decrease city expenses by $12 million, including the removal of physical downtown parking meters and moving to a full cashless payment system, increasing transit fares by 10%, deferring transit fleet reserve investments to next year, canceling the addition of transit service for some late-night weekend and holiday routes, and reducing funding for economic development Regina, among others.
As we start to make deeper cuts, if that's what council is looking at, just gauge the impact versus the gauge of the impact of that dollar versus the gauge of the impact of that service.
At the previous 15.69% forecast, the average Regina household would have seen property taxes increase about $33 per month. At 10.73%, the increase would be about $23. CFO Darren Anderson says the city can provide adequate service levels at the newly suggested tax hike.
Council has set a strategic priority to remain in the lowest 25% of per capita taxes amongst our comparator cities. That requires us to stay below the city of Saskatoon. We can do this for 2026 with a tax increase of 10%.
Now, Bashinsky calling his motion just a starting point, as it has yet to have been voted on. Budget debate is only just beginning, and the mill rate could fluctuate up or down at council's discretion to enhance services or cut even further. Deliberations are scheduled to last through Friday. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Regina's food bank busy this holiday season as well. Sierra D'Souza Botts checked in.
Betty Donald used to work as a nurse until she lost her sight.
I ended up having 3 brain tumors removed and couldn't nurse anymore.
That's when she turned to the Regina Food Bank as a volunteer.
Still wanted to do something, so I came to the food bank because they had helped me when I first lost my sight.
A decade later, Donald still finds herself coming back, supporting people in need of care.
When I couldn't nurse anymore, this is the second best thing I've ever done in my life. You're still helping people.
Donald is one of the many volunteers committed to helping prepare close to 500 food hampers every day for families in Regina. With the holiday season being a more expensive time for most, the community-based organization provides an additional 2,500 hampers, feeding over 3,000 people in the city.
Everything makes a difference for them. It's very hard to come to the food bank for the first time, and I think that's something that we really acknowledge, and the fact that someone's coming to us, it means that they're actually at a point that they need the help.
Serta adds there are many ways people can get involved with the food bank.
Through donations, volunteering, or doing a food drive. Also learn about food insecurity and speaking to others about it, being our own advocates.
As part of the annual Hampers of Hope campaign, all donations made until December 24th will be matched by Nutrien.
That's what life is giving to other people, not to yourself. So for me, it's my way of giving back.
Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The Regina Pats got back into the win column with an upset win over the Prince Albert Raiders.
Couldn't get through sticks. From a bad angle, finds Lansard. Left side, he shoots! Scores!
Lansard with a pair of goals for the Pats, who snapped the Raiders' 5-game win streak last night. Merrick Schlenker picked up first star honors with a 34-save performance for the Pats in a 5-4 win.
Comes off the wing, shoots and scores!
Shane Smith scored the game winner in a shootout for the Kelowna Rockets as they pick up a come-from-behind win over the Saskatoon Blades last night.
Julian Mays, the former Regina Pat, danced to the middle, shot, scores! Amazing!
Brad Curl on the call. Julian Mays with the goal, his first as a Calgary Hitman after being traded from the Pats. Calgary scored 3 in the second, 4 more in the third. They beat the living daylights out of the Swift Current Broncos 9-2 last night. Broncos have now lost 12 in a row. Their record losing streak is 18 games. They're coming close to that. Let's get over to the Weather Center right away and join Janelle Lippi with our forecast. Janelle, what do we expect today?
Well, we are expecting to see clearer skies for this morning and this afternoon. However, later on this evening and early into tomorrow morning, we are going to be seeing few more flurries moving through the province. We'll get into that more coming up, but let's take a look over at that current temperature here in the Queen City. About minus 25, seeing that wind start to calm down just a little bit at 13 kilometers per hour. And again, a little bit of a cloudier day. Now, I know you can't see much behind me here in Saskatoon because of those flurries we saw last night. However, minus 23 currently and 6 kilometers per hour wind. So we are seeing that wind not as strong in the Saskatoon area, and that will of course impact temperature as well. Now let's take a look over at the futurecast here, where you can see those systems moving through the province. So this is later on this afternoon and into tomorrow morning as well. You can see this snow system moving through. So that is something to be mindful of on your morning commute tomorrow or wherever you're headed off to just be very cautious on those roads, because again, they will see some snow cover and a little bit of ice as well. Now for current temperatures in Saskatchewan, Stony Rapids at minus 40, Buffalo Narrows minus 27, South End minus 36, Hudson Bay minus 27, Spiritwood minus 21, the Battlefords minus 21, along with Kindersley, East End minus 17, Estevan minus 20, and Yorkton minus 25. Now for our highs today, the Battleford seeing about minus 21, and again, seeing that snow coming as well. Now Prince Albert minus 22, a little bit more sunshine, Yorkton minus 24. Now both Estevan and Weyburn sitting about minus 19, and starting to see those wind speeds pick up as well. Over to Regina here for our 5-day forecast, minus 20 as the high for today. Seeing some clouds in the sky, but that sun is really trying to peek out now. Tomorrow is when we'll see more cloud cover, mainly cloud cover even, because those flurries are on the way, as you saw previously. Minus 2 as that high. Now into the weekend, we see those temperatures begin to drop again. Minus 21 as the high on Saturday and minus 16 on Sunday. Over to Saskatoon, minus 21 as that high for today. Again, keeping those clouds around. However, tomorrow, more of them. Minus 10, those flurries are coming back. Now Saturday, minus 22, and really wrapping up the weekends a little bit cooler at minus 25 on Sunday.
It was December 18, 2003. Canada's Becky Scott was awarded a 2002 Olympic gold medal after the Russian winner of a cross-country ski race was stripped of the medal for doping. December 18, 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump was impeached by the House of Representatives, becoming the third U.S. president in history to be impeached. December 18, 1997, the Nova Scotia government apologized for the 1992 Westray mine explosion that killed a number of people.
Well, in case you missed it, there are many benefits to winning the World Cup of Soccer, and that includes national pride, bragging rights, the thrill of victory, but also a substantial payday. prize money is actually being increased 50% for next summer's tournament. FIFA's announced that the 2026 champ will take home a record $50 million. Wow. Runner-up, $33 million. Third-place side, $29 million. And all 48 participating teams will get at least $10.5 million. That includes a $500,000 payout for preparation costs.
That's
Guys,
why
we need
tickets.
to get a team together.
That's why
get in this thing.
Right? That's why tickets are so expensive. My goodness. So what,
holy moly.
Oh, there's 11 on, what is it, 11 on the field? So how many are splitting that 50 mil by the time you're all done? About 25, 30 people?
Well, does it go to each
staff?
of the players evenly? I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
I have no idea.
Good cat. Yeah, either way, we got to start learning how to play soccer.
No kidding, hey?
You know? Be like those people in the Olympics that find rare sports and qualify for them. You know? There's that woman that did the ski half pipe a few years ago, and all she did was go back and forth, and then they changed the rules. Question of the day, your last minute go-to Christmas gift idea. We got a few answers that came in on the text line over the last hour. Let's share some of those.
That's right. We've got Kristen here who says scratch cards. Now, that does seem to be a very popular one.
That was a popular answer. More than just Kristen said that. She gets the name recognition on that one. Debbie says so as well.
All right. And we've got Ange here who says spa gift card from Rocanville.
Oh, look at that. She worked in a plug, a shameless plug for her business.
Okay.
Last minute gift idea, homemade card or ornament from Risha. Janelle still likes to buy socks.
Here I come again with the socks.
You love socks. And Nathan says the unique deck of cards is fun for everyone who uses those.
That's right. Let's see what else. Oh, Kim again with the baking, homemade baking. Of course, you can't go wrong.
Which she should do and deliver to both Saskatoon and Regina studios. We would appreciate it. And Kayleen's buying Costco gift cards for, I didn't get one. Did you get one?
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one? Maybe it's in my stocking if I made the nice list. Thanks for participating in the question of the day. Health news with Jeremy after this.
Are still pretty confident in the flu vaccine, according to a new survey. But vaccine hesitancy has grown since the pandemic, and so has concern that this year's vaccine doesn't match the strength of the current flu strain. CTV's Adrian Gobriel now on what health professionals have to say.
Cases of the flu are rising across the country, along with vaccine skepticism.
Since COVID, there's been a lot more vaccine hesitancy.
A new Leger healthcare poll has found that 74% of Canadians have faith in vaccines, while the majority say their confidence has remained unchanged. 26% have lost confidence. The report says that healthcare providers have identified misinformation as one of the key drivers of vaccine hesitancy.
We have work to do. The politicization of vaccines has caused an enormous amount of damage. You're seeing the worst examples of that now in the United States.
In September, a newly appointed federal advisory panel stateside installed by U.S. Secretary of Health Robert F. Kennedy Jr. passed a vote recommending that children under 4 no longer receive an all-in-one vaccine for measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox. North of the border, some doctors believe we're seeing the erosion of hard-fought public health gains.
A lot of CDC has been dismantled, and you have people who are in charge of vaccination programs that are anti-vaxxers.
The efficacy of this year's flu shot is still being determined.
The circulating strain right now is mostly influenza A, H3N2, and it's a little bit mismatched from what's in the vaccine.
Though doctors we spoke with say the vaccine still provides vital coverage.
Will the seatbelt guarantee to save your life? No. Will it reduce the chance that you get a really bad traumatic injury or die? Yes. Vaccines are the same way.
Healthcare professionals are urging Canadians to get out and get their flu shot, with many predicting the worst of this influenza season is still on the horizon. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Health authorities worldwide have approved a drug treatment for stroke that was pioneered at the University of Calgary. Researchers conducted a clinical trial with 1,600 patients on tenecteplase. It's a drug that's already used for heart attacks. They found it's effective clot-busting drugs for strokes, too. Administered with an IV, it saves time in situations where every minute counts.
That is a game changer. That means that anybody with an acute stroke can actually get a life-saving treatment in just 5 seconds if they're eligible for that treatment.
Dr. Mannon says the drug is helpful for stroke patients seeking care at rural hospitals as well. They can get the medication before they are taken by ambulance to a larger hospital.
Report brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
The Tree of Plenty campaign is back. Saskatchewan Union of Nurses is helping donate money for food banks across the province. Bryce Boynton, is the president of SUN, and he joins us live. Good morning, Bryce.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, for those who don't know, who are the Saskatchewan Union of Nurses?
Well, we are a union that represents 11,000 registered nurses, registered psychiatric nurses, and nurse practitioners all over Saskatchewan. And it's been a great time serving them in the short few months that I've taken on this role.
All right, and remind everyone watching of what Tree of Plenty is all about.
Yeah, so it's the season of giving, and with that, it's important that we support one another, especially during the season. It's a very tough season for a lot of people. It's cold out there. People are short some income because of all the additional things going on. And so when we band together and support one another, we're making our community stronger. And so on behalf of the registered nurses, registered psychiatric nurses, and nurse practitioners of Saskatchewan, SUN is very proud to donate $50,000 to support the food banks of Saskatchewan.
Amazing. What a fantastic donation. Who benefits most from these donations?
Well, you know, in Saskatchewan, we do have a very high poverty rate, the highest in the country, as well as child poverty rate. And so we're seeing more and more families, especially children, accessing the food banks in Saskatchewan, which ultimately impacts their health. And so we're super happy that with this support, they'll be able to continue accessing the food bank and continue to access nutritious foods to keep them healthy throughout the holidays.
All right. And how can folks watching join in on this giving initiative?
Well, you can check out the Tree of Plenty and donate to your local Saskatchewan food bank, or to go to the Food Banks Saskatchewan website and donate on there if you have some available cash.
Awesome. Okay. And before we wrap things up, what does being able to do this mean to you?
Well, you know, I like to take time just to acknowledge there's these things that make up our health, and it's called the social determinants of health. And what that means is there are all these various things that impact your health, these variables, and one of those is income and income inequality. And so without sufficient income, you can't afford things like healthy food, good health practices. And so by supporting those, we're able to ensure people have good personal health practices so they don't end up in the healthcare system with failing health down the road.
Absolutely. Bryce, thank you so much for this. It was great to chat with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Tansei. It is 8:28, just about 8:30 here on your Thursday morning. Thank you for being with us. We're talking about that storm that had an impact on travel last night. Hallie Mandrick has more on the plans that were interrupted.
For those arriving at the Saskatoon airport, they've received a not-so-warm welcome home.
I came from Halifax, and there's maybe a centimeter of snow, if that, so it's different. She's not going to like it, that's for sure.
Arriving just in time for what Environment Canada is calling Saskatchewan's biggest snowstorm of the year. Blake Fino drove in from Melfort to meet his daughter at the gate.
My daughter's plane got canceled in Halifax, so then they had to replane her for an earlier one to try to beat the storm. So they did, and then that was delayed another hour. So, yeah, it's been a long morning.
A busy day with a lot of uncertainty.
I wasn't expecting to land here today because, like I said, on the forecast it was windy and it was gusting, but the plane, the pilots did a good job and they landed me. So I'm getting to work now, so I'm happy about it.
While those who recently arrived are thankful to be home, many other travelers haven't been so lucky.
We've had quite a few preemptive cancellations, I would say. That's airlines that start to make those cancellation decisions actually ahead of the weather events, who help kind of protect their network so that they can start rebooking people in a timely fashion. So we've had about 6 or 7 inbound cancellations and about 7 outbound cancellations today.
The poor conditions aren't just affecting air travel. RCMP say the weather is keeping officers busy.
We can't reiterate enough. If you don't have to be out on their roads tonight, please don't be if you're in an area that's affected by the weather. And lastly, always check the highway hotline before you set out today and any day this winter.
For those leaving the airport, the goal is to get home as quickly and safely as possible.
We were a little worried we wouldn't get home for Christmas, but we managed to get here all in one piece. Now just to actually get home on the roads, so it'll be interesting.
Just want to get home as soon as I can to get out of this weather.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
We've been watching the highways this morning. The situation is improving, but do be safe if you have to head out. Check the highway hotline. Situation on the ground in BC is improving, with all remaining evacuation orders in the city of Abbotsford in the Fraser Valley east of Vancouver now lifted. But the flood cleanup is far from over. The Premier says he will be calling on Ottawa for help with this kind of flooding disaster so it does not happen on a regular basis. Michelle Bernero reports.
There are still flooded fields on Sumas Prairie. But even as the waters recede, there's plenty of work to be done.
Water made it up about here where the sawdust is sticking.
The water on this dairy farm reaching about 5 feet last week at its peak.
Unfortunately, we did have to dump 1 tank of milk because Saturday morning it was just too deep to get the milk truck in.
The Premier, who was in Abbotsford Wednesday speaking with farmers and business owners, says the floods have been devastating. He intends to raise what happened here, including the shutdown of Highway 1 for almost 48 hours at the upcoming First Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister and other premiers.
This is also a national issue. This is our Highway 1. This is a major goods corridor for the entire country. And addressing Highway 1 stability, ensuring that it's protected from floods from Washington State.
Flooding in Abbotsford began after the Nooksack River in Washington spilled its banks, triggering record flooding in that state. The Premier has spoken to the Governor of Washington State, offering assistance.
He offered the same to us. Fortunately, we don't need that assistance right now. What we need is a long-term resolution of resolving the water coming over from Washington State into British Columbia. And I look forward to working with him on that challenge.
Meanwhile, Abbotsford's Chamber of Commerce says it's been trying for years to make Ottawa realize the economic consequences of flooding.
Anytime there's a closure to Highway 1, you're talking about many millions of dollars of economic impact. What we get really concerned about is what that means for our supply chains and for the long-term economic impact of these types of flooding events on our region.
Damage assessments from last week's flood are ongoing, but in Abbotsford, a clearer picture of some of the losses is now emerging.
BC Poultry estimates 175,000 birds were lost during the flooding. 6 barns were impacted, including that one in behind me.
My parents and brother have a poultry farm right here, and they sandbagged. They did everything they could, but ultimately the water came over the foundations of the barn.
Businesses are also cleaning up.
The water was 3 feet up in our lunchroom, so we got to check to see if they, have to rip the walls off, and it's going to be mold in there and stuff like that if you don't dry it out completely.
And the worry is that unless something changes, floods could happen again. Michelle Bernero, CTV News, Abbotsford.
Closer to home, the NDP raising concerns over wait times for hospital bed shortages in Saskatoon, Prince Albert and Regina. They obtained an internal report from the Saskatchewan Health Authority detailing safety levels at hospitals across the province in recent days. They consider the Prince Albert Victoria Hospital, RUH, St. Paul's Hospital and the Regina General at very high risk for overcapacity. The report notes the Saskatoon City Hospital was short 10 medical beds, while Victoria was short 12. The NDP also highlighting concerns about wait times.
There are many things that go into a picture such as this. I mean, this is very bleak, but it's not an overnight fix, that's for sure.
The SHA says internal documents used by the health system experts should be interpreted with caution when viewed outside their intended context. Also says wait times refer to the total time a patient goes through the process from registration to discharge from the emergency department. It does not indicate the time it takes to see a doctor. SHA adds hospitals across the province regularly adjust for fluctuating patient volumes. The youngest victim of the Bondi Beach attack was remembered at a candlelight vigil this morning. Hundreds of mourners gathered at the ceremony at Bondi Pavilion. 10-year-old Matilda was one of the 15 people killed in Sunday's attack. Australia's Prime Minister today announcing reforms to crack down on hate speech. Following that attack, there was a heightened security measures in place at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building as the Jewish community held a Hanukkah celebration. Wayne Mantika was there.
Two large road graders blocked off an area in front of the Legislative Building as police stood watch over a Hanukkah celebration. The crowd was not deterred from taking part in the annual Festival of Light.
We do not negotiate with darkness and evil. We ignite light, spread love and kindness.
Premier Scott Moe joined a rabbi in lighting a giant menorah outside the Legislative Building. Later, he made mention of the recent mass shooting at a Hanukkah celebration in Australia.
And we should understand that those types of attacks can happen to us as families wherever we live in the world. And it's on us to step forward, and it's on us to be the light in the lives of our neighbors and our friends.
Regina's police chief assured the Jewish community that added protection is in place.
To ensure that we could have additional presence at the places of worship in our city and hopefully provide some comfort to our community.
A local rabbi spoke of the community's sorrow.
We're going to ignite those lights, make sure they carry forward stronger, brighter, and prouder than ever before.
Jewish leaders vowed not to bend in the face of anti-Semitism.
We look to government, elected officials to face the level of anti-Semitism and discrimination and hate, not only against the Jewish community, but against all minority groups.
Hanukkah marks the triumph of light over darkness, a commemoration with added significance this year as Saskatchewan's Jewish community mourns the loss of life in Australia. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Now to the latest on the murders of Rob and Michelle Reiner. Their son Nick made his first court appearance as we learn more details about the killings that stunned Hollywood and the world. Trevor Alt reports.
This morning, Nick Reiner, accused of brutally killing his parents Rob and Michelle Singer Reiner, says he needs more time to decide how he'll plead to first-degree murder charges.
Your Honor, if we could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment.
Wednesday, Reiner made his first court appearance, shielded from the camera by this partition at the judge's request. He sat quietly in shackles, wearing a suicide prevention smock, speaking briefly when addressed by the judge.
Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment?
Within minutes, the arraignment was postponed to January. Outside the courthouse, Reiner's attorney, Alan Jackson, urged the public not to rush to judgment.
So we ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
Sources say Nick Reiner and his father got into an argument Saturday at Conan O'Brien's holiday party. Early Sunday morning, sources say he had checked into this hotel in Santa Monica after police believe he killed his parents with a knife. This footage shows his arrest near USC later Sunday night. The medical examiner now says Rob and Michelle Reiner both died from multiple sharp force injuries. Police say the couple was found stabbed to death in the bedroom of their home on Sunday. Sources say their daughter Romy made that grisly discovery. And Romy and her brother Jake have now broken their silence, releasing a statement saying, "Words cannot even begin to describe the unimaginable pain we are experiencing. They weren't just our parents, they were our best friends." And Meg Ryan, who starred in Rob Reiner's seminal romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally, sharing her grief on Instagram. "I have to believe that their story will not end with this impossible tragedy, that some good may come, some awareness raised. My guess is that they would want that, to be hopeful and humane."
In other news this morning, Saskatoon's most recognizable landmark is preparing for a major transformation just as it marks an historic milestone. Here is Carla Shinkarak.
You can see these hand carvings. This doesn't exist anymore.
It's history like this 90-year-old hand-carved couch that makes renovating a hotel like the Bessborough so important.
Yes, it is important, a pillar to the community.
Built in 1935, the Bessborough has stood as a symbol of history for nearly a century, and parts of the hotel reflect that.
Unique in Canada for this building is that we heat up this building in the winter with steam boilers.
Those boilers will be replaced along with all the guest rooms.
Renovation with 225 rooms and public spaces that includes lobby and meeting rooms and launching of a 3-meal restaurant called Grand Junction.
The renovation and rebranding to a Marriott Bonvoy's autograph collection will include various elements which pay homage to the Canadian National Railway as the original owners of the hotel. So one of the iconic elements that will remain after the renovation is having the Canada Post mailbox. The mail is still picked up every day. One of the biggest changes will be moving the main restaurant to the ground floor. That means the pool will be taken out to make way for dining that overlooks the patio and Bez Gardens.
So our goal going into this renovation is to actually preserve some of the unique elements about the Bessborough.
For this manager who's been with the company nationwide for over 20 years, the Bez holds special significance, playing host to an impressive number of famous people, VIPs, and heads of government.
In my past 4 years here, I've seen more dignitaries in my life than in this past 22 years with the company.
Renovation work will begin in mid-January and remain open to guests until May of next year. Then it will be closed until September 2026. Carla Shankaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Janelle Lepai, this is my last show of 2025. Make sure you listen to the full sentence. I'm not quitting. It's the last show of 2025. I'm off tomorrow,
Yes.
off for Christmas. We're off from the 22nd to the 26th. So just don't email us. We're gone for them. We're back on the 29th. We're not canceled. We're not replaced. Blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
The important part of that whole statement is that I'm going to be doing some traveling. You are going to be doing some traveling on the highways. Are the conditions going to improve for us?
Well, they will and they won't. If you're traveling today, we have lots of travel not recommended, lots of covered highways. So if you are heading out, make sure you're extra careful. Load up your car with some necessities. But for the foreseeable future, we are going to be seeing a little bit more snow. So it is hard to say right now what those highways are going to look like, but make sure you're careful on them. Currently here in Regina, minus 25, 13 kilometer per hour wind. So we are starting to see that pick up a little bit as well. So that is something to be mindful of. That will be impacting the temperature as well. Now back over to Saskatoon. Again, you can't really see much. It looks like an icicle behind me, which is very reflective of this temperature as well, minus 23, but not as strong of a wind moving through the city as we are here in the Queen City, 6 kilometers per hour. Now let's look over at that future cast. You can see this system moving through. Like I said earlier, we will be seeing some more snowfall coming late tonight and early tomorrow morning as well. So if you're heading out for the holidays a little bit earlier, make sure you're cautious on those highways and make sure you're following highway hotline as well, because things are going to get a little bit slick again. Now, current temperatures throughout the province: Buffalo Narrows minus 27, Stony Rapids a cold minus 40, South End minus 36 rather, Nipawin minus 28, and Spiritwood minus 21. The Battlefords and Kindersley both at minus 21 as well. East End minus 17. We've got Moose Jaw minus 22, along with Weyburn and Wynyard minus 27. Now for our highs today across the province, the Battleford seeing about minus 21. Again, those flurries are on the way. Prince Albert minus 22, Yorkton minus 24, Swift Current minus 7, but seeing that wind chill picking up. Weyburn also very breezy here today, minus 19, along with Estevan and Moose Jaw minus 16. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina, minus 20 today. We will be seeing quite a bit of cloud cover in the sky, and that leads us into tomorrow, where we see a little bit nicer temperatures at about minus 2, but those flurries are coming back again for both the Regina and Saskatoon areas, and for majority of Saskatchewan, we will be seeing that hit very early in the morning. Let's take a look over at Saskatoon now, minus 21 as the high for today. Again, that sun is really trying to peek out, but those clouds are gathering, and that leads us right into Friday, minus 10 as that high, and starting to see those flurries come about as well, which of course leads us into the weekend and Saturday and Sunday, both very chilly days, minus 22 on Saturday, minus 25 is the high on Sunday.
Studio decorating provided by Urban Farm Girl Boutique and Home Decor.
The Lieutenant Governor's New Year's Day levy is coming up at Government House. Carolyn Spears is with the Lieutenant Governor's office and joins us virtually this morning. Carolyn, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us.
Good morning.
Remind us of the role of the Lieutenant Governor for people who may not be aware.
Well, of course, the Lieutenant Governor is the representative of the King in Saskatchewan. The King is the head of state for Canada, and he's also the head of state for our provincial government.
And so now the Honourable Bernadette McIntyre and her husband Rich will be welcoming people to Government House. This is happening New Year's Day. Tell us what the levy is all about.
Well, the levy is really an opportunity to meet their honors and to exchange New Year's greetings with them. This is their honor's very first levy because she was installed at the very end of January this year. So it's her first time to welcome people in this role to Government House. And of course, the building, which was built in 1891, is beautifully decorated for the season with sort of a Victorian Christmas flair. So people are welcome to come and meet their honors. You might want to snap a photo with them. But the house is filled with entertainers and refreshments, and it's just a wonderful open house and gathering for people to start the new year together.
Is this an okay event for kids?
It certainly is. It's a family-friendly event, and we have a craft room for kids this year, and they get to make a unique craft. They get to decorate their own Victorian calling card. So their name will be calligraphied on the card, and then they get to add some sparkles and bling, and they can meet the Lieutenant Governor and present their card to the aide-de-camp, who will introduce the child and their family to their honors with their very own Victorian calling card.
That is very unique, very special. I love that. I know that the Lieutenant Governor's office is separate from Government House, but Government House is such an integral part of our province. Just what makes it so special, and especially at this time of year?
Well, of course, Government House was restored to about the 1900 era, and at that time, the Lieutenant Governor and the family lived in the house, and so it's like stepping back in time to see what things look like around 1900. It was at the time the Lieutenant Governor played a different kind of role in government, but today the Lieutenant Governor still plays a role in our constitutional monarchy. So it's a very important building, and thanks to some wonderful volunteers, the house was saved and has been restored. And it's just a beautiful gem, a treasure in our city.
Carolyn, we need the dates, times, everything like that so people can come on out on New Year's Day.
Of course, New Year's Day, January the 1st, and the event runs from 1 to 4. This is a come and go, so people can come right at 1 o'clock and stay right to 4 if they like, or you can just pop in whenever you'd like to drop in and just check out all the things happening in the house. There's free parking. We have a nice big parking lot, and there's also parking in the neighborhood. There's no fee to come, and as we said earlier, it's really for all ages.
Well, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you and everybody at CTV.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
I'd have it, but I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back.
Tonight,
I was broken into pieces.
Canadians grappling with the very real loss of life savings from fake AI-generated videos.
You could invest in it for as little as $250.
What's making these scammers so convincing that victims are losing everything they own?
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
The Oscars are making a jump to YouTube. The new partnership between the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and YouTube means the award show will stream exclusively on YouTube platforms starting in 2029 with the 101st Oscar ceremony. And the board at Warner Brothers unanimously recommends its shareholders reject Paramount Skydance's bid for the company. They're in favor of the earlier takeover bid from Netflix. The Muppet Show is returning for a special event. Kermit, Miss Piggy, and the rest of the gang are set to take the stage at the original Muppet Theater on February 4th. They'll be joined by pop star Sabrina Carpenter. Look for it on ABC and Disney+. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And he's sped into the box office this year as a race car driver in the movie F1. Academy Award winner Brad Pitt is celebrating a birthday today. He turns 62. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Olivia Rubin, ABC News.
Isn't that has-been?
A Texas dad is enjoying viral fame over his Christmas display. So Danny New went to check it out.
In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Clark Griswold goes through a world of effort to set up one standard layer of lights on his house. So imagine if he saw the work of this father of two in Houston known as H-Town Frankie.
H-Town Frankie is a baller name.
Oh, thank you. You may remember our story with Frankie from 2 years ago.
Boys talking down, I got them diamonds in my mouth. I'm from Port Arthur, Texas.
As this former DJ and current IT expert combined his passions to program delightfully synchronized light shows.
Combination of creativity and song choice and choreographed silliness. So that's what makes it what it is. A lot of fun.
Now 8 years into this festive foray, Frankie has not only garnered millions of views and props from hip-hop legends, but he's even become a hometown staple of Houston's holiday celebrations. You're seeing a light show he set up this year for the city's downtown greenery. And he even recently teamed up with the Houston Texans when their mascot, Toro, got inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame.
It took me about 7 hours to do that one, actually.
How has this changed over the years?
It used to be real mid, but now it's like lit.
But Frankie's biggest passion is his two daughters. We showed you how in 2023, he engineered a light show at the hospital where his youngest, Piper, underwent heart surgery. Today, Piper is doing just fine, and here's what she thinks of her dad's dazzling displays filling up their front yard.
Are you proud of how famous your dad's become?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I appreciate that, man. That's nice.
And Frankie did say that recently he has held fewer shows at his home because he said parking and traffic around the neighborhood has gotten as bad as the Texans football stadium. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
The time and effort alone, right, to program something like that.
Amazing.
I wouldn't know where to start.
It took an IT expert 7 hours, Jeremy. It would take us, Janelle said it'd take me 7 days.
Infinity.
Wow.
Yes.
Time for some sidebar and some more rider jokes. We've been showing you Rough Rider quarterbacks Jake Mayer and Trevor Harris telling some jokes that are either good or bad, depending on how your sense of humor rates. This is the third set. They are all different. Let's see if this one's the best.
Why was the snowman looking through the carrots? He was picking his nose, Trevor. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Hit me. I smell carrots. Knock, knock. Who's there? Ho, ho. Ho, ho, who? Your Santa impression needs a little work, buddy. You got me.
So that is a pretty good one. That last one's a pretty good one. I like the shove one that we showed a little earlier.
That one was good.
Check my balance, so I shoved them.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. This is all on their social media feed. Jeremy, we can do this. You and I can do this any day you want. I won't need I won't need a note. I won't need a notepad like Jake had.
No, me neither. I was like, we should try it.
We should do it. Oh, Janelle, in the meantime, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, Canada isn't the only country to have a Christmas train. Bogota opened their Christmas train this week, which is one of the most popular family-friendly activities in the Colombian capital.
And the Christmas train is rolling through Saskatchewan this next couple of days
It sure is.
Support local food banks. It's all been running on your enhanced screen on the side of our frame here. December 20th, Mosaic Stadium parking lot. I know that one for sure, as well as in Moose Jaw and Swift Current on the 21st.
Yeah, you love the Christmas train. I love it.
Saskatoon, I think, on the 21st as well.
Yeah.
We have been getting people spying it across the country and sending in photos, seeing it on the rails. So that's cool.
The train tracker. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I'll see you in the new year.